So first I had to iron it, and then I found online from, I cannot remember what YouTube thing, this template. I'll probably leave a little link below. It has everything that you need. You have to cut all of these out, each one of these, and then you have to draw this one, like outline this one on your fabric. You have to outline this one inside of this already made one, and then this one is for later, and this is for your foam. So like act like this has nothing to do with the fabric. We're just dealing with these, okay? And I suggest that you get 2 different markers. All right, so first you take the ear cutting line and you trace around it. And you're gonna need 2 of these for each ear because it's gonna be essentially your ear. So you trace around it, and I'm gonna trace another one. Okay, your ear sewing line is going to go within this, just so you know. The only thing you cut, only is the orange line. You do not cut anything else, nothing. The only thing you cut is the orange line. We have our 2 outlines of our ear cutting line, and then we're taking our ear sewing line, and with a different color marker, doesn't matter, a different color from the orange for me, we're gonna outline the ear sewing line. Okay, so it's gonna look like that. Okay, now it's time to cut. I'm going to be using these scissors. They're little makeup scissors, and I think they're eyebrows scissors. That's what I use them for. Because for me they're sharper. All right, our 2 ears are cut out, ready to go. We're just gonna flip those. We'll flip the one, put the other one on top, and we got ourselves, let's straighten that out. You know what I'm talking about. Yep. Straighten that out and just sew along that line. Now I am going to sew them together. As you can see, I have a bright light. It's not actually, see if it's different, it's brighter. I would suggest doing this just because it's easier. I have them lined up so that they're together. And I put some needles in there just to help keep them together. Okay, so I made sort of a big of a boo-boo. I made my thread a little bit too long. I'm about a little bit, just a couple of stitches halfway, and my thread was too long this whole time, but I guess it just got the better of me. And I don't know if you could see that, but I got a couple of knots and it just was not cooperating, so I had to cut it off. So I can't really give you how long it took to do this ear, which is what I wanted to show you. I had to cut it off and knot it, and we're gonna try again. So I spent a lot of my time here pulling it through and making sure it was straight because I put it so long. So note when you try to do yours, and if you try to do one, do not make it so long. You can always put another one, but you're just adding more time, and the risk of knotting and having to start over and just, yeah. Okay, this is the first one done. As you can see, like I said before, I can't give you an accurate how long it took, but this is I did a really tiny not that one, really tiny stitches, like really tiny. This is the halfway point, and ignore that. Really tiny. And we leave this open so that we can put the foam and the cotton balls in. So on the opposite side, we got the same thing. And there's a starter. And these holes are just where I don't have pins, so I just put other needles in to hold them together because it was easier. These are essential. Make sure you put these in because it keeps them together, and it keeps you from like continuously like trying to make sure it's together. And these are essential. You really do need these. I would suggest pins so they're not as big as this, but who knows. This is what it looks like inside out, like how it's gonna look like. Our flowers are pink, so it doesn't really matter that you see this little thin pink highlight. I guess it depends on what color your flowers are, but I mean, it doesn't matter. And this is also going to be sewn, and there's going to be flowers here in your headband, so this does not matter. And yes, I'm done with my Mickey ears. This is what they look inside out. The stitches, as you can see, you could see this one is a little bit less. This is the one I took a little bit more time. This is the one I had a little bit more problems with. But they both have where I'm going to stitch along this line before I put the foam in. So yes, the next thing I do is I cut out the foam. Now you're going to use this last template, the foam plus batting. I'm using this type. You can use the smaller type. Other videos use the thinner type, but I used a little bit of a thick type. It's called thick foam or thin foam. Yep, that's what I use, foam sheet. And we're going to trace this twice, one for each ear. All right, and now we got our two boards. So I got the first one in. It's a little bit of a process, but it's okay. As you can see, it's in there now. A little squeezing. All right, so you got to do it like this. You push it in and put it inside the little baggie, and then you should be ready to go. Okay, so now that both foams are up, I'm gonna be putting some cotton balls in there to give them that more of a puff, so it doesn't look like I just glued some flowers onto some foam and put them on the headband. So give them a little puff. Okay, so this is what the difference is. This versus this. A little bit of a difference. I can't get them to stand up on their own. You can see quite a difference. Wish me luck on sewing it. Alright, let's go. Ears are done. I have to say, sewing the bottom was probably the hardest part so far. I'm trying to just keep it together. The easiest part and the most helpful was keeping the colors together. But I don't know if you can see that, the little stitches. but keeping them together was a little difficult, but yep. So we got our little empanadas going here, little ears. Not that I don't trust my sewing, of course, but just for a little bit added protection, I super glued the inside, as you can see, just kind of as a barricade. So like an extra protection, but I still sewed it. You can, I don't know if you can get away with sewing the bottom. I mean, you should be able to, but for me, I sewed it. This is an added protection for it. That's still a little hot. Okay, so for me, I sewed and I hot glued. I sewed and I hot glued, but you might be able to just get away with hot gluing. I guess it's just your choice type of deal. Are officially on, as you can see. Plain Jane. I'm using this ribbon. It's not like smooth, it's got like little ridges just so it doesn't fray. You're gonna cut two long pieces of 12 inches, or however long you want them, times it by 2. So I want my bows to be 6 inches wide, so I cut a foot. Yep. And you're gonna cut 2 of those. So I have 2 of these, and then you're gonna cut out a piece of 3 inch, just like a section of 3 inches, and you're gonna fold that over itself and super glue it so that it creates this. Okay, next you're gonna take both of them and you're gonna fold it over the edge in the middle, and you're gonna fold it like that, and it's gonna make a crease. And with that crease, you're gonna bring them both together, and you're gonna hot glue it at the corners, and it's gonna end up looking like this. So you're gonna have 2 of those. All right, so the bow has been like the hardest thing for me to do so far. So, all right. So after we glued it, this is what it should look like, not like this. This is an extra, but this is what it should look like essentially. But then you're gonna go over and you're gonna like pinch it together so it's like this, and it will turn out to look like this. And you need to glue the front and the back, and what I mean by that is you need to super glue. You need to hot glue it so it stays like this, so it stays in the front. So you hot glue that in here, and then you hot glue in the back. Then you hot glue the back, those 2 pieces down. So you're hot gluing 2 parts of the bow, the front and the back, making sure those are done. And then you're gonna take 2 of these, the 2 that you make, and you're gonna bring them together, and you're gonna glue them together where they meet here. And then you're gonna put that little strip together, and you're gonna get this. Where I'm at right now, just placed it on. Yeah, and it's looking pretty good. I decided to glue right in the middle between the 2 ears, and I had to decide which one I wanted to make back or front, and I had to go with how much glue you could see, which you could barely see anything anyway, so it was kind of like an eeny meeny miny moe. So yeah, this is what we're looking right now. Started the flower business, and I have 2 types of flowers. I have kind of big flowers, and I have these tiny little flowers. They're not like super tiny, but as you can see, they're both different with their thickness and their stems and what holds them. To glue these two flowers together to make, you know, one flower look pretty. And I wanted to make a long stem, you know, make a long stem, and it actually broke off. Let's actually stuck to the paper now. This is how hot the hot glue gun is. Melted the plastic. Melted it right off. It was like sticky. It's hot. Keep your fingers away. But you have to build a tolerance. If it happens, it happens. It hurts like a bitch, but it's scary, folks. Don't be a victim. But, I mean, pain is gain. Alright, so this would look like a finished front, but it's actually not. In my mind, I was gonna have to do an entire front ear and back ear and such, but I didn't realize that the bow, you know, goes on top of these flowers, and the flowers add height and, you know, width. And so if you put flowers underneath this bow, it's, you know, it's gonna, if you put something underneath, it's gonna change the way that the bow looks, and obviously I do not want that. So I was like, oh, I should put little flowers underneath there, but even that is becoming a little bit too much. So right now I had a big flower that I had taken originally as like a tester to see, and I am cutting up some of the petals. As you can see, I had cut up a petal here, and I am hot gluing it to the back. So just in case ever, even though you will never see the backs of these, like you will never see that. Like this is how you're going to see this bow. You're not going to see behind the bow. But in case, you know, that wind ever picks it up, this is what you're going to see. So I'm kind of just trying to put those behind right now, trying not to add any height, but at the same time not make it just look like some fabric. So that's the problem that we ran into, and the solution that we're coming up to right now. Yes, that's what we're at right now. So I ran out of flowers because I have to be even. As you can see, you're like, well, that's not even. So I'm gonna have to use a lot more little flowers, which I was not, didn't think I was gonna have to, but I have to. So right now I think it looks pretty good. Once I do the back, then we're gonna see the situation on this situation, what's going on here. And like I said, it's pink, so if you see anything, I don't think anybody's gonna be like, oh my god. So that's the case right now. That's what we got going on. Yep. Let me tell you, it's hard work. I actually came across some flowers that I didn't know I had, like these little starfishes. That was really cool. And originally I thought I was just going to be using the little ones on top of the big ones, which is where I guess I kind of messed up. because now I'm actually using them as spacers instead of just like on top of, shit. Because I thought I had too many, but surprise! So, yep. That's where we are right now. So, here we go. Okay, so I had to buy more flowers. They're completely different. They're plastic instead of fabric. They're a little bit different. A little bit of light orange, dark orange. Obviously in the front they're going to be decoration, but in the back here they're going to be placeholders for now, so that I can save up on the white and pink flowers, as you can see. So those can go in the line. I haven't put any here yet, but yes. Those are what it looks like right now in between. Both of the front sides of the front and the back are done with the orange added as decoration and as placeholders. It adds to it. As you can see, it sort of sticks out, but it kind of adds to the pink. You got your light orange and your dark. And then back. Now I ran into a problem with adding onto the sides. I did not realize that I would have used as many little flowers as I ended up using. At first I thought I was just gonna cut as short as I could and put it down and glue it onto the side, but that shortens up the length. It kind of draws attention to the fact that it's two different sides, and I don't want that. I want it to be a continuous thing. So right now what I'm doing is I am gluing down a flower. I'm gluing a flower like every ½ inch, and obviously, and do it to the length so it's the same height, and then go back and add in. So obviously I'm going to be adding a tiny flower in this pocket area because now this draws attention to a white area. So yes. It's a long process, let me tell you. This is what it is right now. By the way, I knew I wasn't gonna do today is what today is and how long this took. I am not gonna tell you how long this took, but I will tell you that it is Wednesday and I leave on Thursdays. So I literally have hours to finish this before I leave for the weekend to come give this to you. So chop chop. All right, it is finished. Already good to go. Nice and big and voluptuous. Ready to show the world. You're ready to go, man. Look at that. All nice and different. And yesterday we went to Disney World and I saw a bunch of florals, which I wasn't expecting, but we did, and there was nothing like this. Absolutely nothing. So hurrah, hurrah. Good for you for being unique. So the next time you're at Disney, what choice are you gonna make? It better be the one in the middle. But hey, what a fine selection you have now.